Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gann, alongside my partner, Jack Reed Nicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you have not had the chance, go check out our website, justsayingfootball.com, and follow us on Instagram at JustSayingNoGWJS for article and video updates. Jack, the 4 o'clock slates are absolutely amazing, and the Sunday night football is also amazing. All the NFC West teams play against one another this weekend. And kicking off right now, we have the Seattle Seahawks heading to San Francisco, playing the 49ers. 49ers just lost a heartbreaker, Jack.
Yeah. Oh man, huge heartbreaker, and I think that at home it's going to be you got to see how they react to it. Russell
Absolutely.
Wilson coming to town off a loss is not what you want to see. But like you said, in the earlier video, the big thing for Russell Wilson in this offense is how are they going to look after they come out in the second half. This Niners defense is great, but I got to say it's a huge credit right now to what Seattle is able to do, just offensively right now. It's been so impressive. They look really good. They had a really tough matchup the last couple of weeks, and I think this is going to be just an offensive shootout. You know.
No, absolutely. I totally agree. I think that the 49ers offense looks solid. They can play both Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo. We keep talking about that, or at least I keep talking about that. Do with Samuel fits well. George Kittle's back. I think that their loss is a bitter taste, and I think they want to get that out. They just lost at home. They come back to home again. They're not going to lose to their division opponent. Now, at Seattle later on, that might be a different story. But right now, I don't think they're going to lose to Seattle. I'm going with the 49ers. I trust that defense a little bit more than the Seahawks defense. And I like that offense against that weak Seattle defense. They gave up a lot of points. They gave up a lot of yards against the Vikings last weekend. And there's a lot of different motions that Kyle Shanahan likes to do and a lot of different looks he likes to give teams to find openings in that, against the defense. I expect them to put up a lot of points. Seattle will fight, but ultimately, 49ers are going to win that game.
Wow, I got to oppose you on this one.
I
Honestly,
know.
I think that Russell Wilson's coming in hot. He comes against the 49ers to play and knowing that it can be a playoff game. That's how he started his career, so he's always been good with them. 14 and
I know.
4 in his 18 matchups. I think that at home I
You're
respect
right.
the
You're not wrong.
49ers, but like you said, last week, this Seattle defense looked a little shaky. Bobby Wagner's just doing his job. He's leading the league right now in
Bobby
tackles.
Wagner's the man.
24. He's the man. He's one of the best linebackers of our generation of all time, in my opinion. And I
Agreed.
think that against Minnesota offense, a huge passing attack last week with no Dalvin Cook. This week, the 49ers are definitely going to be trying to, do what they did last week and just try to run the ball as much as possible, try to create big plays with their running game. And I think Seattle's defense is going to be able to actually hold them, get it done. I think it's going to be really tough for the Niners this week. Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf looks so good. But this is going to be a great match no matter who comes out on top because, honestly, these NFC West games are just treats every time, especially when
Yeah.
all playing good.
Absolutely. Moving on. Next NFC West matchup, Arizona Cardinals going to LA taking on the Rams. Dude, another great matchup. But I just got to say off the bat, I'm going with the Rams. I've been taking them all year. I am all on board with this offense. Cooper Kupp is absolutely unstoppable. His worst stat line of the year thus far is 9 receptions, 96 yards, and one touchdown. Yeah, one touchdown. Other than that, he's gotten 2 touchdowns over 100 yards, about like 8 receptions. He's just been absolutely killing it. Matthew Stafford looks like he might win MVP of the year, honestly. He beat Brady. It's not going to be Brady now. He beat Brady. This Rams team is absolutely unstoppable. Aaron Donald's lights out. Jalen Ramsey been playing solid. I love Kyler Murray. I love this Cardinals team. I think that they're definitely up and coming, but in LA, I don't think they're going to get the win against the Rams.
Yeah, I really want to see how DeAndre Hopkins reacts in this game. We've
Great
seen
matchup.
him and do it, but him and Ramsey, when they play each other, they
Duo
know that
continues.
they are 2 of the best. Ramsey has taken him down a lot, but I gotta say, I'm loving that the Cardinals right now, first in scoring. They average almost 5 touchdowns a game the first 3 weeks. 34 points a game right now. The Rams, I got to say, it's impressive. They are on both sides of the ball, a top 10 team. They're
Absolutely
ninth in
amazing.
points. Only allowing 20 per game, and scoring over 30 a game. I love what I'm seeing, as you said, out of Matthew Stafford. I do believe that this is the point where Arizona gets the win, just because they are so in tune right now. So are the Rams. I cannot give any disrespect to them. This is a hard matchup to decide because the Rams are at home. They have the advantage. Matthew
Exactly.
Stafford, Cooper Kupp. But I loved what I was able to see out of the Cardinals in tight moments this year. Their defense looks like they've come to play. There, if somebody is going to be able to shut it down, it's going to be Kyler Murray and his legs getting away from Aaron Donald in this defense. Just so many stars in this. This is going to be a big down to the wire, high scoring matchup in my opinion. But I'm going with the Cardinals on this one. Big
I like
shocker.
it.
I think that their offense, it's just about keeping up with them. I think that Tampa Bay wasn't able to keep up with the Rams, and the Rams gave it all last week. So, but the Cardinals, I just love what they're doing right now. I'm going to go with them in this one.
No, I totally get that. I think this is going to be a lot of split series, honestly, in this division. It's going to come playoff time. It's going to be absolute bloodbath. I can't wait to see how this division continues to play out. Moving on, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Green Bay, taking on the Packers. Packers are coming off that nail-biting win against the 49ers we were just talking about, bud.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers looking good right now. The Aaron Jones looking even better right now for the
Yep.
Packers. And
Devontae Adams and Rodgers
Devontae
looking
Adams,
scary good.
they are back. They're in that phase that we wanted them to be. In the Pittsburgh defense right now, TJ Watt's still questionable after missing last week. It's going to be very, very tough without their leader out there. They have some key pieces, but the Packers at home, you want as many advantages on the defense you can with Aaron Rodgers. And I got to say, Aaron Jones has impressed me. I was somebody that said, oh, I don't know if he'll be able to keep this streak of, high scoring over the last couple of weeks. He's got 5 touchdowns. He hasn't dropped the ball. He has 10 targets, 10 catches. He's been able to get the ball. He already has 41 attempts in the season. I'm loving what I see out of Aaron Jones. And I'm not loving what I see on the other side of the ball with the Steelers offense at all.
No, the Steelers offense looks really, really not great. Big Ben looks like he's getting really, really old. It looks like the age is finally beginning to catch up to him. We saw it towards the end of last season. We really did see it. And now it's carried on over into this season. That defense is young. It's talented. They got a lot of pieces going forward, I think, for their future. But I just think that the way the Packers have been playing offensively, this really weak offense of the Steelers, as good as that defense is, it's not going to be able to get the job done against Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, and Aaron Rodgers. I'm absolutely going with the Packers in this one, especially at home, coming off of a great win against the 49ers.
Yeah, and the Packers defense, they are allowing a lot of points. This team has, had some up and down games, but I think that this is a winnable matchup for their defense. I don't see a passing threat on the Steelers that can get past a guy like Jair Alexander. I don't think their offensive line is at the point right now where they'll be able to stop the Packers pass rush. There's a lot of factors there, but I think at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers right now, what he's doing, and Big Ben, what he's doing, when you have 2 quarterbacks in this matchup like this of this caliber, it's very interesting to me. So
absolutely,
I'm gonna go with the Packers as well.
Got to. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos are hosting the Baltimore Ravens this week. This is Denver's first real challenge. I'm not gonna lie. They played the Giants, then the Jaguars, and the Jets. Not the best teams in the league. Not a lot of challenge. Similar to the Panthers, they've had a very easy start to their schedule. So this is going to be a nice challenge for them. The Ravens offense is still solid, and they're getting Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman's practicing this weekend, their rookie wide receiver, and Miles Boykin returned from IR. So both of them are back. They could be there. We could be seeing a lot more passing from this offense, a little bit less running maybe, which could be big. And there's no Bradley Chubb on the defensive side of the ball for the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta thank Von Miller for just sticking around for this team for so long, because if he wasn't there right now, it would look a little tough. But he's got 4 sacks on the season. I think this would be an interesting matchup. Him and Lamar Jackson, the ultimate weapon in the backfield. This is a good test for Lamar too. Denver is a good defense, but this is an interesting matchup with the offense here for Denver. They have a good running game that they've been getting going, but at the end of the day, they're still the 12th highest scoring offense right now. It's a shocking thing. They've lost Jerry Jeudy, they've lost KJ Hamler for the year, but they've been able to score points. And as you mentioned, the easy matchups. This is kind of a shockingly easy matchup because the Ravens have been allowing so many points. Yes, to good competition, but they have been, they're 26th right now, ranked out of 32, when it comes to defensive allowing points. And, it's a tough thing. But, this is the week the Ravens get right, I think. Against Denver, it's going to be a tough matchup, with the defense of Denver. But I do love Lamar in this. I think he's
Gotta
just
go
a
Lamar,
mismatch
man.
for anything.
I agree.
And the defense of Denver and the passing game of the Ravens is going to be a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Ravens. I trust that team a little bit more. It's going to be the first real challenge for the Broncos, as I've mentioned. I just think that the Ravens defense is still there to play for sure. They're able to keep it in close games, and with the offensive weapons now kind of returning a little bit for the Ravens, that's a huge boost for them to do a little bit more. So I'm definitely going with the Ravens. Moving on, Sunday night football game, dude. Tom Brady
This is a big
is
one.
returning back to New England. Buccaneers are taking on the Patriots in New England, man, and not only is he going back to the place that he won 6 Super Bowls, he has an opportunity to break the NFL passing record for most passing yards ever by a player. Only 68 yards away from breaking it, man. And he's going to do it. He's going to throw more than 68 yards.
He's going to do it. And last week, what Brady was able to do, we were talking about this before we were recording, but, he was the Buccaneers offense last week in a matchup against the Rams, who
they did not run the ball.
We have insane respect for the Rams. And the Rams beat them. But Tom Brady coming off a loss is a scary thing. Tom Brady coming back to New England after not being there for 20 years.
We saw the Tom Brady sit down that he does in the halftime where he's like, well, I just lost this game, but the next game I'm coming back.
And when we have seen that way too many times to be betting against him in this one.
Yep.
And I
now
think that Mac Jones versus Tampa's defense.
I know after that 3 interception game. And now also coming off of the fact that the relationship between Bill Belichick and Tom Brady ended on a phone call. He's coming to this game pissed. He's coming off of a loss. He's coming back home. And he just had a bad ending with them. This is going to be a fact. This is going to be huge. I'm definitely going with the Buccaneers. The Mac Jones 3 interceptions game, he looked rattled after that game. It was not his best performance at all. The Patriots did not want that to happen. They're giving up a lot of pressures, not a lot of sacks, but still a lot of pressures. A lot of defense are getting in his face. I expect the Buccaneers to be all over him this game. They just signed Richard Sherman too this week.
Yeah,
so crazy. What a week to be happening. Richard Sherman gets signed to the Buccaneers. Tom Brady's facing the Patriots. But yeah, I'm definitely locking in the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I mean, they have, coming off a loss last year, we could tell, hey, Tampa's got a mentality with Tom Brady there. And now it's the same thing. I'm very interested to see how New England reacts. They have, the 5th best defense when it comes to points. Tampa right now has the number 1 scoring offense, tied with the Cardinals.
So good.
So, it's a very interesting, factor here with Tom Brady. Like you mentioned, he only needs 68 yards. Last week, this guy threw over 400. It was the 5th most of his entire career, all the games that he has played. He did it last week against that Rams defense that we just talked so much about.
Fine wine, man.
And this week, if you think that Tom Brady is not going into New England and he is not absolutely out for blood, then tune in on Sunday night because he is out for blood.
This is going to be a great game. My question for you, do you think fans are going to react positively? I think he's going to return. It's going to be a standing ovation. Six Super Bowls.
Anybody gets me 6 Super
Bowls. This man is your franchise.
I would. I mean, I think that it's just a thing where, even with the Giants having Eli Manning for so long, you're like, oh, what's next? I think the Patriots are in the same thing. I mean, we only got 2 out of Eli. They got 6. They cannot be mad at that. If Eli went to another team and we had to respect that, that's football and that's the business. But this guy, he's ready. He's got Mike Evans. He's got, he's got Chris. He's Godwin.
So ready.
AB hopefully is good for this game. We don't know what the COVID status with him. Gronk in New England. No one's talking about Gronk coming back. He is definitely going to keep his streak going. I feel like it's another 2 touchdown day for Gronk. I'm going to just call that now. There's no way that they are not going to have a Gronk spike in New England this week. And probably a couple more scores.
All right, Buccaneers locked it in for Sunday Night Football with Jack and I. All right, that's all the time that we have. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you all for listening and always checking us out. YouTube, Just Saying Football at justsayingfootball.com. Check out all our articles and videos and get all your video and article updates on Instagram at Just Saying No G WJS. Thank you all for listening.
Enjoy.